maybe the most surprising part about Baylor's somewhat lackluster 35-point win over Samford was the fact that when Sawyer Robertson was subbed out, it was actually Nate Bennett that went in at quarterback. I said it on Friday's show. I would love to see some Walker White. You know, we already have a stud quarterback, so I don't think there was a lot put into the Walker White news because you knew you were getting Sawyer Robertson back. But this is a kid who was a 4-star, top 3 dual threat quarterback in America out of high school, and probably a top 20 recruit that Baylor's ever had in the recruiting rankings era, coming in from the portal from Auburn. There's a lot of upside with this kid. There's a lot to be excited about with him. And so when Sawyer Robertson goes out, Nate Bennett comes in. No disrespect to Nate Bennett, man. Friend of the show, seems like a great guy, certainly has some talent for sure. But wouldn't you expect the former high 4-star recruit, the pretty good recruit out of the transfer portal, the one that other SEC teams were looking for, wouldn't you expect him to be the guy that's coming up? Well, Dave Aranda after the game said, what we were trying to do, the plan was to go with the guys with the longest time in the program. Really? Is that what we do? So, like, if Sawyer Robertson gets hurt, God forbid, knock on wood, if Sawyer Robertson gets hurt in the second quarter against Arizona State, and there's, 42 minutes left in the game, you're bringing in Nate Bennett. Huh? You're going to roll with Nate Bennett against the defending Big 12 champs, not Walker White. And some might be saying, well, no, Cam, he was only saying it about it for that game. That was their game plan for that game. Okay, so then let's play the scenario out again. There's 42 minutes left in the game. Sawyer Robertson's hurt. He can't go back in. And now Walker White's gone in with no game action because you decided last week you wanted to go with the guys who was in the program a few more months. Nate Bennett was in the program for 4 more months than Walker White? 5? And that's what you wanted to do? That's the way you kind of wanted to handle it? I'm very surprised by it. Mainly because not just this hypothetical scenario I've put out there for you, but a much more realistic hypothetical scenario that next year, Sawyer Robertson's not going to be your quarterback because he's out of eligibility. And that's why you brought in a young stud 4-star in Walker White to come in so that he can be the quarterback next year. The guy that Hugh Freeze loved, this offensive genius, Hugh Freeze. Is he not going to be your quarterback next year? That's not a huge vote of confidence right now to say, oh, no, we'll actually put Nate Bennett in over you. That's weird, man. That's weird. And I'm sorry, it is. I know it's 3rd game of the season, but that's an odd thing when you go out in the portal and you get a quarterback of that ilk. That's interesting way to handle it in the year 2025. And the way that college football is, even before the portal, even before NIL, I think that would have been a very interesting way of handling it. If Lloyd Carr had done that at Michigan, Tom Brady might have won the Heisman, but he didn't. So is Walker White going to be the future of this program? Because I think he has the ability to, and certainly he hasn't appeared in a lot of meaningful college football snaps, right? Neither is Nate Bennett, neither is Edward Griffin. Man, if they had scored 80, Edward Griffin might have been in the game. But it felt like for the first time in a long time, Baylor had a succession plan at quarterback, right? Sawyer Robertson to Walker White, and then one of the next 2 studs who are very young, right? Nate Bennett or Edward Griffin, whichever one of them would still be in the program after that, because it is 2025 in college football. So to me, that was the weirdest part of this game, was not seeing Walker White go in there. And the reason why doesn't hold a lot of weight for me, because he's been in the program a little longer. I mean, the game's also out of reach. So why don't you get a look at the guy who's going to be your next guy? Or is this a sign that Walker White is not the next guy? That they're going to give more of a look to Nate Bennett or maybe even Edward Griffin, the freshman, over Walker White, your prize transfer quarterback recruit. Because then I think you'd have a real risk of losing him like Auburn did, you know? Very, very weird and something to keep an eye on, because I just would have thought that Walker would be the next guy, not just next year, but like in this year, and would be ready to go if ever anything happened to our king, Sawyer Robertson. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Then be sure to like and subscribe. But then we're going to get to trivia here before we get you out of here. We got a little Locked On Baylor trivia. You'll remember the last question I asked, the little Notre Dame theme, was who was the last team to be ranked in the AP poll after starting 0-2, like Notre Dame did just this week? Scotty B, the Baylor King, puts the crown on again. He got it right. First one in the comment section. He got it. He was right on. The year is 1988. And it was Sidney Wicker's Michigan Wolverines that did it. And I threw in the added bonus for a little coincidence sake. And that was who actually won the national championship that year. And Scotty also got that right. That would be the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The last one they won. Let's get into today's trivia. Again, first one to get it down in the comment section is going to get the shout out for next episode, or you can tweet at us at Locked On Baylor as well. This is Arizona State themed. Kenny Dillingham coming into Waco this week. Let's see if he has another casino comment for the heart of Texas. Kenny Dillingham was an offensive coordinator at what SEC program for just 1 year and led them to their best ever recruiting class, according to 247. Important caveat, according to 247. Kenny Dillingham, OC at what SEC program for 1 year, led them to their best ever recruiting class, according to 247. He was also the freshman quarterback coach of a star in the NFL right now. That's the hint I'll give to you. Let me know in the comment section below or tweet at us at Locked On Baylor. First one to get it gets a shout out next episode. Be sure to comment on this whole Walker White situation and what you think about Sawyer Robertson stepping up, how this offense can improve after what looked like a pretty good first 2 weeks. Let me know in the comment section below. Then be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, the only place on YouTube that's bringing you nothing but Baylor content for free every single weekday. That's not affiliated directly with the university. We're very proud of that. So you can catch us here every weekday, 5 days a week, completely free. And we will see you on the next one. Thank you for making it your first listen today and every day. The next version of your favorite show, Locked On Baylor.